It's time for the Daily Stand Up Podcast presented by Agile Dad with your host, Lee Henson. Without any further ado, let's get started. A student recently pointed out to me that they were trying to find ways to motivate their teams to be better. And they asked me if I had ever heard of the concept of a motivation map, MAP. And MAP, of course, was an acronym. And I said, I honestly haven't heard of that. And they gave me a little reference. They said that there was an article that they read about, motivation mapping. I searched for it, but I couldn't quite find the app or I should say, the article regarding this motivation map. But I thought that it would be fun to talk about the topics that they brought to my attention. So MAP. So the M stands for mastery. Now, when you're trying to motivate teams, the M denotes that people want to become a better version of themselves in any given field. They want to be better at what they do, they want to hone their skills. Each individual wants to improve, and they want to do that not just one time, but continuously throughout their careers and throughout their lives. So I think when I talk about mastery, sometimes it is influencing or inspiring people to embrace what they do and improve and sustain it, whether they're doing Scrum or Agile or whatnot. Sometimes it's exploring creative ways to engage people while they're performing their work. Other times it's building enduring professional relationships during interactions, especially when you're working with teams and stakeholders and in between teams and with teams. I think that in Scrum, the Scrum Master is the one who strives to master the application of Scrum in such a way that it fosters an environment of radical candor and psychological safety where people feel comfortable saying what they need to say and know that there's not going to be any direct negative ramifications for saying what they're going to do. For the product owner, right, it's a little different. So for the product owner, their strive to have mastery is in their product or project management skills, right? So they want to have a relentless focus on exploring creative ways to communicate the vision and strategy in a roadmap. They want to identify impactful interventions to improve the adoption of product features so that they can have growth, right? Continuous growth. And they want to improve product discovery techniques to better understand the customer's experience as a whole. They want to understand and walk a mile in a customer's shoes. For the team members, it's about learning and building emergent engineering architecture and practices so they can improve their product quality and identify ways to innovate and think of new features and brainstorm in the marketplace so that they can improve both time to market and generate greater business and consumer value. I think that's incredibly important. So the M has to do with mastery, and for each role, it's different. Let's talk about the A, which is autonomy. Autonomy refers to the choice of freedom provided to the people, right? So that they can select ways that they want to achieve their outcomes and create enduring impacts instead of constantly and consistently being focused on output, right? So for the Scrum Master, this means that the environment with autonomy, they need to provide an environment with autonomy where people are willing to experiment with initiatives and to make sure they're building a place of awareness and creating this shift internally that leans more in towards allowing people to be aware of where they are and how they can improve and unlock their potential. So sometimes it requires lots of unlearning and deprogramming, if you will, only to discover what you can do. So it's interesting. So you have learning opportunities and deprogramming opportunities. I think for the product owner, when I think of autonomy, I think it's their autonomy to make key decisions without having to have everyone in the room, right? So for them, it's creating an environment where they have improved accountability from the team so that they can make conscious decisions, which works towards having, taking their product ownership and nurturing their products so they can take it to the next level, so to speak, right? And for the team, they require autonomy so that they can improve their standards, so that they can build in quality and they can do all the things they need to do to receive the support internally and externally from the stakeholders. And I think this helps them become cross functional. It helps them improve their self management capabilities, and it helps them have a North Star and know exactly what they're trying to do. The P in MAP stands for purpose. So, purpose is the meaningful outcome to achieve what you're trying to do when you have your challenges. So, when people fulfill these accountabilities, especially if they're doing it within the Scrum roles, uh, the purpose envisioned in using Scrum adoption motivates the Scrum Master at work to co create more complementary practices. The purpose behind a product vision and roadmap, of course, motivates the product owner to work and maximize value. And the purpose of fulfilling the customer's wants, needs, and whims in every sprint motivates the team to build the right thing and to figure out and build in quality while building and delivering products and services that wow in small increments, right? So everyone has a piece in this. So it's not necessarily a futuristic or a whimsical approach. It's a very practical and pragmatic approach. And it doesn't require you being dogmatic or command and control in everything that you do. It requires you being open minded and aware. And I think that if we start being more aware, that's going to help us get a long way. So that's going to do it for today. I hope that you learned a lot about mapping. I'll tell you what, I didn't know what it was until I kind of pieced it together. And this is all from what I learned from one of my students. So I want to thank my student in a recent advanced product owner class for sharing this with me. And as always, we encourage you to stay healthy, stay well, and stay agile, my friends. Until next time, do take care.